Hello and welcome, my name is Seth, this is Sweet Chariot, and today has been a mixed bag. Started off the day with a bow sale, a U bow sale. Hoodoo over there on the bench. Had a lovely day out in the forest and then finished the day with snapping the ash longbow that I've been making in that series. I'm not 100% sure what went wrong, but something definitely did. This was not the limb I thought would break, if it would. Admittedly, we've gone quite slim, but not too slim. Did I not fire harden it at the right time before taking it to full draw? Did I not make the handle skinnier so I overdrew it? Did I not get the backing right? It's the first time working with ash, and I didn't know when we were harvesting the log exactly what needed to happen with the backing. In fact, it wasn't green either, so it was very hard for the bark to come off. Did we damage the back? And there was twist as well. This is why we've ended up so slim. Came a bit under power from what I was after, but yeah, I needed to get rid of that twist. Did I not get rid of the twist sufficiently? This limb was looking so good. Yeah, I'll make another video on that because we've got to do an autopsy on that bow and figure out exactly what went wrong. But the only medicine for a broken bow is to start another one. And I think it's been long enough now. I made two lovely Maruki bows, Maruki Japanese Longbow, and broke both of those as well. I think I'm asking too much. I don't know. We use that basis of draw weight and draw length. They're all trying to hit 28 inches with the Maruki. The longbow, I was trying to hit longer, and at the same time messing around with shaping the limb so it stores more energy at the same time as drawing a long way. So yeah, maybe I should keep them simple. I mean, I have these bows working, and then I seem to play around with them, messing around with the concepts of, you know, trying to front set them more and make them slimmer so they store more energy and therefore transfer for more speed, or just trying to get away from back set pieces of wood. But the back set bows I've made have been really good, and getting them to, you know, to front set and perform in that sort of fashion is really tricky. It's good when it works. I think I'm getting there, but I tell you what, it's really on the edge of what the piece of wood can do. But sorry, yeah, enough of the yammering. With the other two Marukis, like I say, I just pushed them too far. I took too much material away, and they snapped. Yeah, but made them too stiff, too thin, and they snapped. And I want to make another one. And this piece of wood jumped out of me here, and yeah, like I say, to medicate myself from the pain of losing this one, several hours, I don't know, 20 hours maybe have gone into that bow. See you later. There's one working limb there, so if I break another ash bow in the future, I might be able to join them together. But yeah, bye. See you later, all that work. So yeah, I figured sit down with not too beefy a stave and get going on this Maruki. And if I'm going to do that, I might as well film it and share it with y'all. So here we are. I grabbed myself this stave. This is some of the, I believe it's fast growing or common yew. It's not as dense as this yew I've got here. But the latest bow I've made, the one that didn't explode from the yew series, is made of this one. So I don't think it was cured when I first found it, like this stuff was. In fact, it must be cured better now, this, than it was the back set bows that I was making first off. Saxons shoot so quick. I was so surprised. It'd been a while since I shot one of my back set U bows, and it really surprised me. So yeah, I think it's good to push it. But at the same time, you can make a really fun bow that isn't a recurved wildly recurved, super fast shooting. What the? achieve an arrow speed. You can do it through density of wood and stored energy, sort of from being front set. And this is what I'm trying to learn. Yes, hello. To anyone who's new to the channel, my name is Seth. I'm learning bows. I came across a fallen yew tree, other pre-cut yew trees, and I gathered it all up and I brought it in and I started making bows. Then I started making arrows. And that was the upside of today, where I'm not as bothered about losing that bow, because we had a really good day out in the forest and met a forester there who does coppicing and was really friendly and like-minded, and he gave me a piece of blackthorn, in fact. So yeah, I'll do a video about that area as well at some point. Yeah, let's talk about this piece of yew, a fast-growing piece of yew. It's fairly straight. We've got a little bit of twist down there, but at the same time I can see a really thick layer of sapwood. So we're going to have a little bit of play when it comes to leveling it out. Maybe. Should do. We'll see when we get there. First things first, we're just going to tidy everything up and have a look at what stave we can make out of this. This is you see, this is my log. Would have been split from like how big's that? 6-inch log, something like that. Probably had knots all on the other side. You see remainders of that here. This is going to be a trouble area. In fact, this area right here is the point that made me think I should make a Maruki out of this. Because if this was going to be a symmetrical longbow, this quite severe defect here would be right in the middle of the limb. But if we make a asymmetrical bow, it can form the handle, which may cause problems of its own. I'm going to have to be really careful about retaining as much material as possible here. If I can't do that, then it's glue up time. But yeah, I think we should be okay. We've got a decent amount of sapwood I'll try and use. So yes, I need to get going at this because I'm hurting from screwing up that bow. So here's what I've done. Let's switch it around to this. This end looked a bit like this. I've just quickly whipped with the draw knife down there, just on the belly. Take up all the splintered material from when it was split, and we'll see what piece of wood we have. And I'm going to try and, oh, that's a pretty substantial hole. Might well disappear, we'll see. That is the door. Deliberately take all the material at this point. Who knows, this stave may not even be viable, we have to find out. This is the pain and the beauty of self-bow making. At least when you're new to it anyway. God damn it, it's going to be a while until I have any ash that I can use for bows, although I think it might be a good idea to carve it when it's a bit greener, when it's not fully cured. It's a bit easier to cut. So I may still work on some ash soon. I was really looking forward to that bow working there. Lesson learned on that one, get the handle sorted good and early. Straightened out. Narrowed down. Just central line. So annoying. Anyway, the Maruki and Kudo. Do you know anything about Japanese archery? I know a little bit from when I was making these bows before. We've got a bit of a crack here from the split. Yeah, Japanese archery, just like any other archery in the world, came from hunting and war. But then it became a martial art, art being the operative word, and Kudo was born. So the overly dramatic archery, target archery style. Now I had a really cool wavy piece of wood that was just perfectly shaped for a Maruki. I reckon a Maruki first came about sort of when you select the branch like this, it's naturally thicker at the bottom than it is at the top. So if you don't have it in the middle, then yeah, you're not trying to balance a piece of wood that isn't balanced. It balances more from here. And then with the long top limb, naturally shaped, like imagine like a hazel shoot or something like that, it just naturally bends. It's grown to bend in that fashion. So that's where I think the original design came from, many thousands of years ago. What caught me out with Arashi, with the first one I made, was there's a difference between a Maruki and a Iyumi, and also Kyudo. A Kyudo bow needs to draw a really, you way like past your head. You go like past here, you do massive draws. Whereas, you know, a Maruki doesn't have to do that. It's just a thumb drawing bow. So what I should have been trying to do, instead of competing with bamboo and thousands of years of traditional bow making techniques to make a proper Iyumi that you could shoot Kyudo with, is I should have made a thumb drawing Maruki bow that can draw to your earlobe, so like 28, 29, 30 inches. You know, nice, oops, stay there. Nice anchor just past your face, but not all the way back here. Yeah, and if I'd given myself that limitation instead of trying to do the massive draw, then I probably still would have that lovely longbow. But with breaking bows, just got to remember straight away, it happens, shit happens, especially if you learn it. And whatever time you spend getting annoyed about it, this time you could spend an energy making another bow. Starting one that might work. But you got to learn those lessons, right? See, that was my first proper attempt at an aft bow. And I want it to draw a proper 28 inches. Maybe a little bit over that. For safety. So you got to put it through this rigger, and if it doesn't survive, then you haven't done it properly. Simple as that. Do it properly next time. And I think right there is why bow making is so awesome, because all of that is just stoicism. Trying to not get angry about the things you can't share. I can't put that piece of wood back together. So there's not really much point in spending much mental energy being annoyed about it. Just best to get busy. Alright, this stave flares out, obviously. So that is going to be the down there is going to be the widest we can go. And I think we're going to be able to get rid of this knot. Just about, or do I try and retain it? How deep is it? It's pretty deep, but it does go off to the right instead of the left. So we might get that. Let's get rid of some of this. What else did I do today? Yeah, we went to the forest, a real nice bit of forest outside of Bristol, because the dog was asking for a proper walk. Found a really cool forest. So went there and did a long walk, and also found some real nice hazel arrow shoots. And then also turned my attention to holly and found some nice holly arrow shoots. One just there. Now, I haven't worked on those before. What I gather from stick making is holly is very tough. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of arrow it can make. So the harder it dries, the harder it cures up, the narrower you can go, the lighter you can go. This is what carbon fibre achieves in the arrow world. It means you can fire arrows that are really light on a heavy poundage bow, and they won't deform and break in the compound bow world, that is. I've said before, understanding archery, in my opinion, is more about understanding arrows. Because when you understand the arrow, you understand what the bow is trying to achieve, geometry-wise, power-wise, and then the discipline itself. So before, bow making isn't all that conducive with healthy archery posture and flexibility. It's a lot of this, combined with the other work I'm doing, driving and lifting. My scapula crunch audibly if I get close to the camera. I don't know. Listen closely. I wonder if the camera could pick that up. Yeah, that's sticky scapula, and I need to do more stretching and massages and whatnot to fix it. I realise this. That's all I have to say about that. Not complain about it unless you can do the things you know will fix it. And that scapular movement, yeah, probably archery exercises would be extremely good for it. I'm not doing archery, I'm doing woodwork, so go figure. What I can do is make sure my bows draw to 28 inches and don't explode. So much energy just gone. Who do bow making? It's silly. Yeah, Marukis are fun. It looks like a really hard bow design, but it's not. It follows the exact, well, it is. Especially if you're making it out of bamboo, using like whale bones or whatever it was to form it all into place. Okay, so the heartwood is more, seems to be more even. They're looking pretty good actually. A little bit thin just on the tip here. I'm looking for that thickness of that sapwood because I'm going to have to take the sapwood down pretty soon as well. Yeah, I might be going just a little bit far on the old heartwood here. Let's make sure I don't do that. That would look okay. Handles all the way down there. Yeah, the branch I made into a Japanese longbow was quite long. It was a 76-inch bow. It was awesome. It was so cool. The bottom limb was bending too much, and the top limb wasn't bending enough. But the branch itself was just sort of naturally balanced. It gave you a handle right in the right place. It was easy to whittle down to a bend that started to look really good. And then, like I say, then I started needing to mess around with the shape of it because I had waves in it where it was losing energy. So I flattened out all the waves there. And that made it work better. But then what I didn't do was remember to take material away as it got stiffer, and that put more pressure on the already too skinny bottom limb, which then made it break. And someone in the comment spotted this. He was like, bro, looks like your bottom limb is bending too much. The top limb is supposed to bend more. And he was absolutely right. So, with the design on this one, you literally just follow that concept. You know, the limb is twice as big. It will be bending twice as much. It's twice as long. If they both follow the taper that you give them, you've literally just got a mini-me limb. That one's doing 1/3 of the bending, that one's doing 2/3 of the bending. And as it does that, the handle naturally tilts forward. And you end up with that iconic sort of shape, half pear shaped design. And then your knocking point is extremely important. And also your string line as well. So with these bows, the string line is set over to the right hand side for shooting off the right hand side of the bow. Seems a bit counterintuitive because most bows will be central. Okay, now we've got to pay attention. Still high on this side. But it's a different ball game with this bow. I guess you could do that a couple of ways. You could do that in the knots, or maybe the branch you have might have it naturally built in to the limb. You might get lucky that way, to the bow, to the stave. Or you just shape it, just give it a tiny little nudge on the tip, and it makes a huge amount of difference to the arrow's ability to pass by. I think I'll probably do that on the top limb because there's so much more material to share that little deviation with. I'm sort of using this line here. We have got some propeller twist in here, I'm pretty sure. If we find the straightest bit of the stave, I'll then work from there. Use that as the anchor point. I guess the other reason to start a Japanese longbow is because I haven't done a series on that. I broke the U-bow I was making, and then managed to finish one to finish the series, and then I said it in the Ash series. I really hope I can take this one all the way to the end, but now no, I broke that one as well. So whether you should be watching these series or not is down to you. If you're interested in watching someone learning bow making, hello, welcome, you're in the right place. That is sort of the thing, isn't it? You can really just, unless you're just extremely gifted at woodwork and things in general, it's the sort of thing you've just got to keep on doing. Yeah, I'm glad I put a final name and number on some of the earlier bows I did. Even though they are back set and silly. Yeah. Worked really well. Kind of Saxon with one of my homemade hazel arrows. It's like a laser beam. Shooting this 10-meter range that I've got. See, that's what I've got to keep on remembering. So what I did was build some heavy duty bows. But then I started to realise exactly what it was that you needed to become accurate with these things, and that is a slightly more sophisticated, just that little bit more effort put into the bow. Because without draw length, you're not going to get accurate. You need to have your draw length, so you can get everything lined up, and it's those tiny little degrees of difference from having your elbow pinned back instead of, you know, ramped around like this when you're trying to get a heavy draw bow to full draw. You want to be able to extend everything and get your elbow back. See, this is why I need to get my shoulder blades in order, because then I can test these bows properly. You need to give it good technique to know if it's working right. Yeah. It'd be nice to be able to get to a point. I don't know if you can even do it with you, because it's quite an inorderly. It's a messy sort of wood, lots of knots and issues. I don't know if, I'm sure you can have a vague idea, you know, if you mark out certain dimensions and aim for those. You can start to design bows to the power that you want. Exactly. I know this because I've seen it done. Unless they're lying about their measurements. Saying a lie, it has been tempting to, instead of going through the fear of taking it to full draw on my tiller entry over there, just go, yeah, it's this at 28. Nah, you don't need to check it. Just trust me. It fires about. You know, I do wonder how many people actually draw to 28 inches, especially with heavy bows. And again, I should respect the power of training. I know full well what conditioning and training can do to an athlete's performance, and you should never underestimate that when people have put the time in. What do we have here? We're looking good. I might switch back to the other limb in a second. I reckon. Might be, slightly wider up here. Yeah, I've got all this U. And I need to turn it into bows. Can't really sell it because it costs a fortune to post it. Well, I have sold some U. If anyone wants to buy some U, you can find me on Instagram, by the way. Or I'd say message me on eBay, but until you've bought something, they're really militant about not letting contact details slide, email addresses, or even names of other platforms. So come find me on Instagram, I guess. Would be the best shout. Sweet Chariot England or Seth.dogs.bikes. Seth.bikes.dogs? I can't remember, one of those. I am on Instagram. Careful not to go too thin here. It's already starting to ping. Cool. Cool. That's a nice lump of wood. Do another video on taking the back off. It is going to be quite a lot to come off because it's quite thick. You want to leave what, like 1/8 of an inch, is it? Or is just a nice layer of sapwood. You can lose it through the tillering process as well. I've done a few like that. Just a nice even coverage, as far as I'm aware. There might be I imagine on the English longbow there is a very specific amount of sapwood that you need to leave behind. This being the sapwood, by the way. This being the heartwood. gently whittling away now, and we're going to try and leave material up around here at the same time as tidying it up. Back on that sapwood, we're looking okay. In action. And the rasp as well. My faithful draw knife, I love this thing, I need to get more. To get a smaller one and some spoke planes. Ooh, and also stop letting it float about because it's causing ruffling. Go for about the same amount of hardwood at the tip here as I did on the other one. The area, so just going to get the rasp out on that. I'm doing okay. That should help give us a good idea of where the sapwood's running. We literally just got to follow it though with our eye here. Got a little dip here. Tidy it up just a bit more. Jangly handle on the draw knife, I haven't fixed that yet. Forward. Oh yeah, they're still thinning down to do. So got another, yeah, got a hole here and a hole down the other end. Annoyingly, on either side of the bow. So we could have picked one side and tried to aim to get rid of both of them. Although, yeah. I still need to slim down here. So how are we going to do that? Is that the nice piece of wood? Oh, that is a pain, isn't it? I can't do that. I'll take more of this side down, I think. Although, no, that's okay, that thick area is in the handle. I have to take a little bit off both sides. It's a little high area down there already. I'm going to get rid of that right now. It's there. Upside down. take that edge off, I think. A little bit more on this side. Always referencing back when you're sculpting anything, not just a U-bow. A face in a tree. That's what I'm trying to be. You're releasing the piece of wood that you want. It's in here somewhere. But you need to uncover it. You need to take away the bits that you don't want, without accidentally taking the bit that you do. Ah, stupid spoke horse is marking the wood. Losing my leather. Get rid of that. Yep. Still safe. Alright. Once I'm done with this, I'll tie you up and then strap that leather back in place. And if the piece moves, then the knife judders. And you don't get a clean cut. Which is no good to anyone. It's no good to me. Set this out. Pick a side to remove. That area is high as well. Yeah, where is the handle going to be exactly? I think it's going to be about here, so this little rip out may well be part of the bow. Yeah, no, it's close, isn't it? It's very close. I think that's our ratio there. If not, just a little bit higher up. Still, I think it's going to be inactive. I just need to chase that little bit out. This is probably a long video by now. I'll remind myself I'm not talking to myself. This is the most talking I do. My safe space. Bows break. Dreams are shattered. I should have carbon fibre backed it, shouldn't I? Then I wouldn't be in this mess. It'd be easy to get angry at Ash right now, but this is something else to consider. Self-bow making is a bit audacious anyway, and that log was a piece of wood that had already fallen in the forest. No idea how long it had been down for. It wasn't bug damaged, it wasn't rotten. And I kept it curing, and I made my nephew's ash sword out of it, and that felt extremely springy, extremely solid. So I thought, what the hey, let's give it a go. So from step one, we might have been doomed. But at the very least, I was able to, I need to sharpen this knife. At the very least, I was able to get hands on with ash. Oh, and I had a go at fire hardening as well. Tempering, heat treating is probably a better way to put it. And that was awesome. That might have even been what killed the bow, who knows. It makes it, as well as making it stiffer, it does make it more brittle. And also, it was the matey boy that said that West Country ash isn't very good for bow making anyway. Don't know why. What did you say? Yeah, it's probably just the fact that it's lowland. So when trees grow, yeah, same with you, the higher altitude the better, because the growing conditions are slower, therefore the rings are closer together. So this isn't super dense yew. I think the Pacific yew stuff is just naturally more dense. Is it though? Decide, Seth. What is the straightest piece of wood? There is just a little bit of propeller twist in here. Should be able to get rid of that fairly easily. It still feels like. See now what? So I could try and get rid of this knot, or try and incorporate it in the strongest orientation as possible. And it almost looks to me like this is the most favourable limb side. So do I bring it in this side? Thin just a little bit more off and have a look at the twist. Or is it that both limbs are actually pretty good? Sorry, both sides of this limb are good, and we're going to need to change the shape of the bottom limb to match which either side is better. I still don't know. Is it going to be? That's going to leave us with just over an inch, which might be okay. Or do we? No, we don't really want a knot right in the middle of our limb, do we? Tribulations. Keep on thinning it down. We'll have a look, and then we'll decide. I think we want to take a little bit off here and then commit and go to this side. And get rid of this knot. Yep, do it, Seth. Big, bad and heavy on this end. God damn it. Tighter grip on my spoke force and a sharper knife. So now we're going to hit that knot actually quite soon on the sapwood. Quite a dramatic amount of material removed, so let's reference back quick. Look good. do this to me now. It was working really well, this spoke course, when I had this leather attached. That is a knot. That is the knot. Or roll your sleeves up and over. Get to work. So it can be more entertaining. I'll do some whistling. Or some singing. Review. That's getting close to final width there, so we'll leave that be. Come back to this knot. And we're aiming for quite a long, thin taper on these bows. Ooh, yeah, it's going to be somewhat flat. Yeah, rather than the English longbow style circular design. Maybe a combination of the two, slightly rounded off. Chubby flat bow. Get through this without any other tools. I guess the other option is to try and leave it on the edge of the stave. Come on through, Joey. Go close up.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool, I'll wrap this up then.
You go now.
I will wrap it up right away. Cool, right. That is the beginning of a U Maruki. I don't rupture my spleen from doing that. Next video, I'll have all of this skinned down to a workable stave. Well, sorry, no, a balanced stave, and then I will work on the sapwood. Yeah, because that's going to be a long old job in itself. Making sure that's nice and even as we remove a decent amount of it. We'll be down to about here. So, brilliant, thank you. And I'll see you in the next one. Time to tidy up and go to bed.
Thanks again.